Hello everyone. Today I'll be showing you how to make your own custom file type and have your own program open a custom file type. So first off, we want a few applications. We're going to be using ResourceHacker and Setup Compiler. What ResourceHacker will help us do is turn an icon into a DLL. This isn't too useful if you just have one icon, but it is useful if you have several icons that you need to put into a single DLL. So the ResourceHacker will help you with that. What Setup Compiler will do is at the end, if you want to share your program with the custom file type, using Setup Compiler, you can make it so you can just have one exe installer that installs both the file type and your program. Okay, so let's start off with getting our ResourceHacker over with. So we'll open up ResourceHacker and we'll make a new. We want to import a binary or image source, and we'll just go to our icon files. And I have an icon file I downloaded online. I'll just call it icon, add resource, and we'll see that the icon is added. If you have multiple, then add those. Then you're going to want to come here, save as, name this whatever you want. I recommend just calling it icon.dll and just put it to your destination and enter. As we see, we have our icon here. I don't really know how to confirm it, but the best way that I know is to just change the icon for a folder. So let's just go to the DLL on our desktop and try that, and we see the DLL works because the folder icon changed. So we have our DLL and the DLL works. So now that we have our icon DLL, let's get our program. Now your program will be depending on whatever language you're using, but if you're using, say, Python, which I am using Python in this case, I have created a little text editor that will open up a file and do what it wants. It's up to you whatever language you use, but what you need to have in your program is an argument for command lines. So let's say you want to open up a file, you're going to need an argument to that file instead of just an open with. So let's just make it in this directory. What I mean by this is in this directory, let's just make a text file and call it hi, and in there we can type whatever we want. And we have our text file saved. Now, what I mean by command line argument is not a get UI, a get bash. So we have our command line to the directory of the text editor. What I mean by a argument is to have it so you can open up the file through the command line as such. So for Python, the way you open it is with TextEditor.py -f, and then you'll have your file. This could just be a file location, for example. And this is what we'll be going for, but we're gonna have to do double slashes. Interesting. Well, it should work in the end. So once you have your file type, it's hi, and yeah, it'll open up that file. So in the code, I shall show you the code right now. This is the majority of the file type stuff. I haven't looked at this in a while, so you'll have to figure it out on your own. This is just for Python. If you have a different coding language, it's going to have to be different for you. but that was an example for Python. This is a simple text editor. So once you have your Python text editor, what you're going to want to do is, I'll just restart this. You're going to want to compile this. So we're going to open a git bash here, and if you have PyInstaller, I believe it's called, you're going to want to use PyInstaller, but whatever coding language is used to compile it to an exe, use whatever it's used for that. For Python, you can use PyInstaller. So I recommend you put it in a single file if it's like a small little program like a text editor, but it's up to you. You can make it multiple folders. We're gonna put this in a singular location at the end. So let's just PyInstaller that, and it'll analyze and stuff. And when it's done, we'll get our exe. And it's finished, successfully completed. You can come, get our exe, put it over there. And once that's there, we have our exe right here. It's our little text editor. We can open it. And there we go. So this make sure your arguments work for this so that you can open the files. And yes. Now, you're going to want to put all of this into a folder. So right now, we're going to make a folder, and inside one of the places, this will be the place where it installs. So if you want to put it in program files, put it in program files. I'm just going to have it install on the C drive. It's easiest that way. So let's call this anything. We could call it here. We'll just call it TestFileType. So we have our TestFileType folder, and let's drag our resources into the TestFileType folder. So right now we have our DLL, our FileType bat, and our text editor. Now, what is the FileType bat, you ask? The FileType bat is what's going to install your file type. So right here we have antivirus. Give me a second. So yeah, don't forget to have your antivirus not take away your fileType.exe. It should return soon, but until then. So what this FileType bat does is it'll create your file type. So first off, we start off with associating the dot. Let's call this file test because this is my previous one. We'll call this file test. The dot file test should be associated to a file opener. So you know how you right click an application and you open with this file test here, this ftype, this file type thing will have it so it opens it using a specific editor. So we're gonna have the dot file test open up with the file test ftype. Actually, just call it file test opener so we don't have it the same. So then we'll do ftype the file test opener, and we'll tell it to open up with our location, our final location. So I believe it was TestFileType. Yes, TestFileType, and then it'll go to the TextEditor.exe, and it'll do a little I have a little argument in Python, so your program might not need this, but what you will need is this area right here. This is what your file is pointing to. So that hi.txt, when you open your file type with that, it will put hi.txt here, the location of hi.txt in this area, instead of %1. %1 is used for whatever file you're opening. That's where it's going to be. So then we'll add to the registry the icon for our open with. So let's just come here and change it. This was fileTestOpener, and the default icon will be to the icon.dll. And so you can also do this in the registry, but if you want to share your program, I recommend putting it all in a bat file. So let's save this. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Right there. And we have our file type saved, and the antivirus has put my text editor back. So now that we have our text editor back, we're going to want to put our once you've downloaded Eno Setup, we're going to want to put our little Eno Setup thing in here. This can be deleted later because we won't be using this. Yeah, this could be anywhere, by the way. Here, we can just do it on the desktop. And, ooh, that opened it up. This is a little script I've done. So here's a little script I've done for Eno. And I haven't made this script, I just edited it a little. So let's call our app name. Oh, I believe I'll be putting these in the description, so you can do that. So we have TestFileType, and we could do whatever we want. And we'll have our name, the TextEditor.exe. So we'll just line by line. So line by line, we'll see we want our output wherever. So we want our output in the downloads. This could be wherever you want. We want the output file name to be just test file type. We want the setup icon file to be the icon toward the setup. So this is just a one-time thing. So we want, wait, I believe the file location is on the desktop, so file location is on the desktop, so we'll just desktop/test.ico. Was it? No, I believe it was icon. Icon.ico. This will be what the setup file will look like. And then we will have, we don't need to touch that. No need to touch that right here. So these are the files that we'll be putting into the thing. So our main thing, it'll be our text editor. So you might as well do that. And then we'll have everything in the folder. So everything in this folder will go into the file. So then we will go down, no need to mess with that, right here, run. This area is showing what will run once you've installed once you're installing the file. So we know that TestEditor.exe will run, and we'll also want fileType.bat to run, so it installs the file type for the user too. So then we'll want to build this, compile, it's compiling, got those files, put it into setup.exe, and then we'll go to downloads, fileType.exe right here. We'll double click this. Administrator will come up. Accept administrator. You can create a desktop shortcut. Just put next. Install. It installs it. Launch it. We see it's launched. So then now let's just create a file type. Since it's a text editor, not that. We don't need that. We just want it to be a simple little text file. Let's call this hi dot and our file type. So I believe it was test file. I'm pretty sure, or not. Your computer might also need a restart after installing, but I don't believe that's a problem for opening the file. Here, what did we call it? We called it filetest. Rename to filetest. Yes. And as we see, it automatically registered our file type, put the icon. Once we double click and open it, oh, we haven't put anything. Here, let's use our text editor. Let's call this hi and save it. Let's save it as, in my program I had it as .java. Okay, we'll save it to the file type. Yes. Okay, and we'll close it. So then once we open it again, it opens up the file, and we've created our own file type that opens in our program. Now, if you want to send your program and your file type to others, just send them this TestFileType.exe, which will install to them this folder. Let me find our test file. You see right here, it'll install this test file folder to whatever directory you've put, and it'll install these contents, and it'll all work out. So yes, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, put it in the description. I'm sorry, not description. Put it in the comments, and please let me know if this worked for you, this didn't work for you. I will try to help. If you ever need anything, just put it in the comments, and let me know what else you want to see from this. I've been working on a few other things. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.